Hello everybody, today we would like to presentation about our material, the elements and the types of Putri. And the member of the group first is me, Arum Puspita S, and my student number is 090. And the second is Riski Ahmad Haidar, the student number is 091. And the third, Putri Reski Amalia, the student number is 097. And the fourth, Sahista, and the student number is 098. And the last is Mutiara Anugerah P, and the student number is 099. Next, I would like to explain about the elements of Putri. First is alliteration. Alliteration is a repetition of the same consonant sound in a sequence of words, usually at the beginning of word or stressed syllable, descending dewdrops, luscious lemons. Alliteration is based on the sounds of letters rather than the spelling of words. For example, kin and car. Alliterate, but car and kite don't. And the second is assonance. Assonance is the repetition of similar internal vowel sounds in a sentence or a line of poetry, as in I rose and told him of my woe. And the third is rhyme. Rhyme is the repetition of identical or similar concluding syllables in the different words. Most often at the end of line, when two words sound the same when spoken, for instance, day, pray, bouquet, waits, and words, with the same consonant ending rhyme. For instance, fain, rain, lane. The rhyme schemes of a poem describe the pattern of and rhymes. Rhyme schemes are made out by noting patterns of rhyme with small letters. The first rhyme sound is designed, uh, the second becomes B, the third becomes C, and so on, like A A B C B, and so on. And the next is rhythm. Rhythm is a term used to refer to the recurrence of stressed and unstressed sounds in poetry. Puts really heavily on a rhythm to express meaning and convey feelings. Caesura is a strong pause within a line of poetry that contributes to the rhythm of the line. When a line has a pause at its end, it is called an end-stop line. Such pauses reflect normal speech patterns and are often marked by punctuation. A line that ends without a pause and continues into the next line for its meaning is called a run-on line or enjambment.
The next elements of poetry are stanza. Stanza is a grouping of lines set off by a space which usually has a set pattern of meter and rhyme. The next are tone. Tone is conveys the speaker's implied attitude toward the poem subject. Tone is an abstraction we make from the details of a poem language, the use of meter and rhyme, or lack of them, the inclusion of certain kinds of details and exclusion of other kinds, particular choices of words and sentence, pattern or imagery and figurative language or diction. Another important element of tone is the order of words in sentences, phrases or clauses or syntax. The next are imagery. Imagery is the concrete representation of a sense impression, feeling, or idea that triggers our imaginative or enactment of a sensory experience. Images may be visual or something seen, aural something heard, tactile or something felt, olfactory or something smelled, or gustatory or something taste. Imagery may also refer to a pattern of related details in a poem. The last elements are figurative language. Is a form of language used in which the writers and speaker mean something other than the literal meaning of their words. Two figures of speech that are particularly important for poetry are simile and metaphor. A simile involves a comparison between unlike things using like or as. For instance, my love is like a red rose. A metaphor is a comparison between essentially unlike things without a word such as like or as. For example, my love is a red rose. Synecdoche is a type of metaphor in which part of something is used to signify the whole, as when a gossip is called a wagging tongue. Metonymy is a type of metaphor in which something closely associated with a subject is substituted for it, such as saying the silver screen to mean motion pictures.
There are two types of poetry. The first is closed form, and then the second is open form. Closed form poetry. Writing in closed form, a poet follows or finds some sort of pattern, such as that of a sonnet, with its rhyme scheme and its 14 lines of iambic pentameter on a page. Poems in closed form tend to look regular and symmetrical, often falling into stanzas that indicate group of rhymes. Closed forms give some poems a valuable advantage. It makes them more easily memorable. The epic poems of nations' long narrative tracking the adventures of popular heroes, the Greek Iliad and Odyssey, the French Song of Roland, the Spanish Chitan to occur in patterns of very consistent line length or number of stresses because these works are sometimes transmitted orally, sung to the music of a lyre or chanted to a trumpet. They may have been easier to memorize because of their patterns.
The next one is example plus form poetry. The first one is haiku poems. Haiku poems are three-line stanzas with a 5-7-5 syllable count. This form of poetry also focuses on the beauty and simplicity found in nature. The second one is free verse. Free verse poems are the least defined. In fact, they are deliberately irregular, taking on an improvisational bent. There is no formula, no pattern. The, the third is sonnet, consisting of 14 lines written in iambic pentameter, 5 pairs of stressed and unstressed syllables, followed by specific rhyme scheme. And the fourth, acrostic poems. Acrostic poems, also known as name poems, spell out names or words with the first letter in each line. While the author is doing this, they are describing someone or something they deem important.
The second type of poetry is open form poetry. Writing in open form, a poet seeks to discover a fresh and individual arrangement for words in every poem. Such as poem, generally speaking, has neither a rhyme scheme nor a basic meter informing the whole of it. Poetry in open form used to be called free verse from the French vers libre, suggesting a kind of verse liberated from the shackles of rhyme and meter.
Example of open form poetry. First is high modernism. It has lines of unequal length, organized by image or themes rather than argument or narrative, matter, stress, verse, or rhythmic verse. For example, Eliot and the title The Wasteland. Second is Leaves of Grass. It have as above but rhythmic verse, broader social register, and less reliance on traditional technique. For example, Whitman's The Title Leaves of Grass. The third is imagism. Imagism have condensed rhythmic verse and free-floating image. For example, T.E. Holmes' and title is A City Sunset NNA. Fourth is Free Verse of William Carlos Williams. It have organized by variable width and line set out with space and indents. For example, Williams and the title Peterson. Five is Project First. It have organized by the psychology of speech and treating words as things in themselves, not simple reference. For example, Charles Olson's The Title Maximus. The sixth is surrealism. Surrealism have phrases defy rational explanation. For example, Carlos breaks and the title after reading Tufu, I got aside to the draft orchard. The seventh is beat pottery. Beat pottery have rhythmic, rambling, and eclectic. For example, Allen Ginsberg and title holds. Eight is postmodernism. It have playful assemblages, freestanding creation whose constituents to constituents do not necessarily refer to anything in the real world. For example, April Bernard's Pierce. Nine is postmodern. It have random but thoughtful examination of the world around. For example, Andrew Crozier High Zero. 10 is language pottery. It have college of everyday phrases, often fragmented or visually in meaning. For example, Charles Bernstein's with the title Tale of Our Lost Time. 11 is performance pieces. It have poems, taped or filmed just as the words come. For example, David Alpin's The Noise of Time.
I think that's all from us. Thank you everyone for watching our videos.